Imagine a time when a single company wielded dominion over millions, commanding armies, minting its own coinage, and reshaping the fate of an entire subcontinent. This is no mere tale of fiction, but the true history of the East India Company. Founded on the last day of December in the year 1600 by royal charter of Queen Elizabeth I, the East India Company was conceived as a joint stock enterprise, its ambition to seize the opportunities for trade in the East. In an age where maritime empires contested with fervor, the Portuguese and the Spaniards held sway over the commerce of spices. Thus, English merchants sought audience with the Queen, who granted them a charter, bestowing upon them a monopoly of all English trade beyond the Cape of Good Hope unto the Straits of Magellan for the space of 15 years. At its heart, the company's design was profit. Spices, silks, cotton, indigo, saltpeter and tea were its coveted treasures. In the early days, its dealings were commercial, with trading settlements established in the coastal towns of Surat, 1612, Madras, 1639, Bombay, 1668, and Calcutta, 1690. Yet, as time unfolded, commerce gave way to dominion, and the company, which had begun as a merchants' guild, assumed the mantle of sovereign power. To safeguard its interests, the company raised an army of its own, drawing men from both England and the native lands, placing them under the command of officers versed in the arts of war. In time, this force would prove the instrument of conquest. The turning of the tide came in the year 1757, upon the fields of Plassey, where the company's forces, under Robert Clive, vanquished the Nawab of Bengal, not by strength of arms alone, but by bribery and treachery. This victory placed Bengal under the company's rule, and so began the gradual subjugation of the land. Unlike a nation governed by laws and a sovereign's will, the East India Company was moved by avarice and the pursuit of wealth. It issued its own coinage, levied taxes upon its subjects, and enacted laws as though it were a realm unto itself. Over time, its grip tightened, bleeding the land of its riches, while those in London, who sat upon the company's board, grew fat upon its spoils. Its might was drawn from an uncanny ability to pit native rulers against one another, to turn discord into conquest, and to extend its dominion under the pretense of trade. Yet no empire built upon the hunger for gold can endure without reckoning. The company was rife with corruption, its officers more concerned with their own purses than with governance. Its policies, driven by greed, brought untold suffering upon the people. The Bengal famine of 1770, a calamity of horror, claimed the lives of millions, yet the coffers of the company remained full, its conscience unburdened. The resentment of the people at last boiled over into rebellion. In 1857, the mutiny rose, shaking the company's foundations. Though put down with cruelty, this insurrection sounded the death knell of its dominion. The British Crown, taking heed of the folly of allowing a trading house to rule in such manner, did in 1858 strip the company of its powers, bringing the governance of India under the direct hand of the Crown. By 1874, the East India Company was no more, its name consigned to history, though its shadow lingered long through the continued rule of the British, which endured until 1947. The tale of the East India Company stands as a reminder of the power that unchecked ambition may wield. It was not a nation nor a kingdom, yet it built an empire greater than many sovereign thrones. It proved that conquest need not always be waged with banners and legions, for sometimes the most potent weapons are but ledgers and ink. The East India Company was a merchant venture that became an empire, a testament to the power of trade, strategy, and ambition. But was it merely a product of its time, or a warning of unchecked corporate power? Let us know your thoughts, and tell us how much deeper we should journey into history. Which untold stories, forgotten battles, or hidden intrigues would you like us to uncover next?